Have you ever truly paused to consider how little we actually know about the people standing right in front of us? Every single day we encounter individuals who seem warm, kind, even perfect. But appearances can be beautifully deceptive. Behind a radiant smile may hide a storm of insecurity. Behind confident words, a fragile self-worth quietly trembles. In a world obsessed with image, where surface often matters more than substance, the masks people wear can easily overshadow the truth of who they really are. But here's the good news. You don't need to be a psychologist to see through the illusion. There are two subtle yet powerful aspects that reveal a person's true character, tiny cracks through which their authentic self shines through, often when they least expect it. These aren't complex or mystical. They're ordinary actions, everyday moments. But if you look closely, they can reveal everything. Imagine having the ability to see beyond words, to read the silent language of the soul, to detect authenticity not in what someone says but in how they exist. Once you recognize these two key indicators, you'll never see people the same way again. And maybe you'll see yourself more clearly too. 1. How they treat those who can't offer anything. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. But how does someone react when the other person holds no value to them, no influence, no benefit? That's when their true essence is revealed. Observe how someone treats a waiter, a janitor, a stranger asking for directions, or someone who made a small mistake. An empathetic person shows no distinction. Their kindness isn't performative, it's part of who they are. But why does this matter so deeply? The power dynamic test. When there's nothing to gain, behavior becomes unscripted. A study published in the Journal of Social Psychology found that people who act kindly towards strangers score higher in emotional intelligence and life satisfaction. It's not about morality, it's about emotional wholeness. The hidden insecurity, arrogance toward the powerless, isn't just bad behavior, it's a psychological wound in disguise. Think of the manager who belittles interns, or the celebrity who snaps at fans. These actions scream, "I need you to see me as important because I don't believe it myself." The ripple effect. How someone treats strangers predicts their capacity for intimacy. If they dismiss a cashier's greeting, how will they handle a partner's vulnerability? Respect isn't selective, it's a reflex. A moment to reflect. Think of the last time you interacted with someone anonymous. Did you see them as a person or a prop in your day? The poet Maya Angelou once said, "People will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel." That barista, that delivery driver, they're not side characters, they're mirrors. 2. How they handle promises. Big or small, a promise is more than a sentence. It's a soul contract. When someone gives their word, they aren't just making a commitment to you, they're declaring something about how much they value truth, trust, and integrity. But let's dissect this further. The micro-commitments, showing up 5 minutes early, texting "I'm here for you," remembering a friend's coffee order. These aren't trivial, they're proof of presence. Neuroscience reveals that consistent reliability activates trust centers in the brain, deepening bonds. The broken promise blueprint. How someone handles failure matters more than perfection. A colleague who says, "I messed up, let me fix this," builds trust. Contrast this with someone who ghosts plans and later claims, "I've been so busy." Spoiler, we're all busy. Prioritizing people is a choice. The self-promise paradox, Jung's idea, "You are what you do," applies inwardly too. Do you hit snooze on your own goals? Break promises to yourself. Every time you do, you erode self-trust, and if you can't trust yourself, why should others? A story to consider. In 1960s Stanford research, Children who resisted eating a marshmallow for a greater reward grew into adults with higher resilience and success. But modern replications show something deeper. Kids who trusted the researchers' promise, "Wait and you'll get too," waited longer. Promises shape our ability to hope and to thrive. The unseen thread connecting these two truths, both indicators boil down to one word: congruence. Congruence is when actions align with values, when the mask dissolves, and what you see is what you get. The chameleon trap. Many people morph to fit situations, charming at parties, cold to service staff, flaky with friends, but incongruence is exhausting. It leaks energy and breeds distrust. The courage to be consistent. Congruent people might seem boring at first glance. They don't overpromise, perform, or people please. But like a steady heartbeat, their reliability becomes a safe harbor in a chaotic world. A challenge for you for 1 week: audit your own interactions, track kindness, note how you treat strangers. Do you make eye contact? Say thank you meaningfully. Track promises, write down every commitment, from "I'll call mom tonight" to "I'll finish this report by noon." How many do you honor? You'll discover patterns, and patterns are the first step toward growth. Why this matters more than ever. We're drowning in curated personas. Social media, AI filters, and the pressure to brand ourselves have turned authenticity into a rare currency. But here's the irony: people crave realness. The workplace. A Harvard study found that employees trust leaders who admit mistakes over those who pretend perfection. Relationships. Partners who keep small promises, for example, "I'll handle dinner tonight," report higher intimacy than those who sporadically grandstand. Self-image. Every time you act congruently, you reinforce self-respect. And as Toni Morrison said, when you get these jobs that you have been so brilliantly trained for, just remember that your real job is to be yourself. The next time you meet someone, quiet the noise of their accolades, wit, or charm. Watch their hands, not their words. Do they extend them to lift others up? Do they fold them in excuses when accountability calls? And when you look in the mirror, ask, am I wearing a mask, or am I letting my soul breathe? The world doesn't need more perfection. It needs more people brave enough to be imperfectly, beautifully real. If this video moved you, inspired you, or gave you clarity, share it with someone who values depth over surface. Dive deeper into the human psyche with us. Subscribe to our channel for content that awakens, heals, and elevates your inner world.